Hello, I'm Emma of Granola Gear, and I'm so excited to be back again with you this week, chatting about knitting as per usual. I'm not wearing any knits today because it's just too toasty out. For some reason, we've just had a warm November day, and I went with a t-shirt. I put away all my summer knits, and we're not going back. So today, I am not wearing a knit. I didn't have a video last week either because I've been posting every week since February, and I started a new job semi-recently, and I've just been tired and decided it wasn't going to happen that week and I'd give myself a little break. So I'm happy to be back again with you today, chatting about what I have been working on. Made some progress. I don't think I have any cast-ons. I have one finished object, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, let's get into it. We'll start with my first finished object, or my one finished object, and that is my Eurus Slipover by Agio Knits. And I'm trying to figure out which side's the front. This side. I love this piece. I'm so obsessed. I didn't think I'd have it done by this week, but I just had the most fun knitting this, and it really flew off the needles. Like once the cable section, it's big and it takes a while, but it isn't that long. Like you don't have sleeves, so it's all right. And then once I finished the cables, the ribbing was super duper quick. So this one's by Agio Knits. I knit it in Noro Hanui. It's kind of a weird name. It's an Aran weight pattern knit on 5mm needles, and I knit the size 1. So this one's supposed to have 9.5 inches of ease for me. I'll take a picture of me wearing it. I just finished blocking it, so while I'm filming this, I have not tried it on yet, or I did try it on pre-blocking, I think. I added the buttons on afterwards. I have these little like mini toggle buttons that I had thrifted a while ago, so they're like vintage buttons that were still on the card. They're pretty cute. I don't know if they're like super sturdy, but this is not something I want to be like buttoning and unbuttoning, so I think it'll be fine just like that. It's this blocked out way, like really nice and drapey, which I figured it would do. This is like a 1-ply yarn. I love this color because it's like a grayish kind of brown, very natural, which the wooden toggle buttons work perfectly with that. And it definitely lengthened because obviously because it's knit horizontally, not vertically, it stretches down quite a bit. But yeah, I'm super excited to get to wear this. One note with the size, I think last podcast I was talking about maybe with the Beatrix cardigan about what my preference for how sizing is written is. And I think though I was talking about it in reference to the Beatrix cardigan, I was really thinking about this when I was talking about that. I was saying that I prefer like small, medium, large sizing to like A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will say I totally understand why people don't prefer that. You don't have the same bias in your mind when it's just like an ambiguous number or a letter, and you can just read the like different measurements and pick a pattern pick the size that works best for you. And I'm thinking about this because another podcaster talked about my kind of hot take and how that's what like they prefer the ambiguous numbers and letters, and a bunch of people in the comments say that too. And then I was like, oh no, I am like nothing like anyone else. But I thought about it more, and my reasoning is partially because of like this Eurus Slipover. I love the pattern. It was really fun. It was pretty easy to understand for the most part, but there was no recommendation for ease. There's just the bust measurement, and I had like no other reference for what size I should be knitting. So when there's only I think there's only 4 or 5 sizes, which is not a huge range, and the ease is all like really significant. The smallest size was 9.5 inches of ease for me, and the second size was 13.5, which is like a lot. Like I feel like 10 inches is about the max. Size 1 was like, is that the extra small? Is that the small? I don't know. And I've been like burned before when it comes to regular clothing and when it comes to knit with sizes, because I have like a smaller bust, but I'm kind of tall. Like I'm a long person. I'm not super tall, but I'm tall for, I'd say, my bust. And when patterns are like mostly like, if they just give you the bust measurement for patterns, the size that it'll tell me to knit is not always the size that I should be knitting. It tends to like skew a little smaller. It'll tell me to knit like the smallest size, and then I knit the smallest size, and then it's just minuscule on me. Like it's too short, like all of it. so I've kind of adjusted to like, I never ever knit the smallest size, even if it tells me to knit the smallest size, because it's just not going to fit right. And I know that, which is why I'm like, if it's the small, then I'm fine. If it's the extra small, I'm not fine. So basically, that's my internal bias. Like, we all have a method for how we pick a size, but for me, I like avoid the first size or the smallest size at all costs. And if I don't know if that first size is the small or the extra small or the extra extra small, I don't know which one I should be knitting. So luckily this turned out okay. It is the first size, it's fine. I figured 9.5 inches of ease, even if that was smaller, had to be like an okay fit on me. It had to be fine. It is. So that is a good. That was good. It was a win in this case, but you never know. Yeah, the ribbing all worked up really quickly. Just after that side note, I did the like funnel neck collar. I didn't do 9 centimeters like it says. I think I did 7. That felt like an appropriate length for me. And then I did the Italian bind off. It kind of looks a little floppy. I didn't do like the double rib before I did the double knitting before I did the Italian bind off on the neck because I didn't say to. So I just left it, but I might go back and undo it if it doesn't look good. I like this yarn. The one ply made the cables look really, really good. This is beautiful. And I didn't realize at first that the back is actually short rows. You might not be able to tell. It's kind of like trapezoidal. I should hold it the other direction. Duh. I thought it was just longer, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, that was a super fun piece. I really recommend that pattern if you're like an advanced or intermediate knitter or looking for a challenge. It was really fun. And there's a like full sweater version that I also love, and I maybe will knit at some point in the future. Probably not for a while, but I liked that pattern enough that I would consider it. So that is my one finished object after all that yapping. So on to my whips. I'll start with one that I'm not sure if I've made a lot of progress. I can't remember how much I showed last time. I think it was just a little bit less than this. And that is the 52-19A sweater. It is a drops design pattern. It's just this colorwork sweater that I'm working on for my brother. It's got steeks. I'm still a little nervous about the size. It feels like it's really long, but I know that it's drop shoulder. I don't know. I need to go back and like do some measuring to make sure I feel good about it. I think I was maybe like partway through the X's part before. So I'm like in the home stretch basically, unless it's super getting too long, and then maybe I won't be in the home stretch. I'm knitting the men's small / medium. It's knitted in Drops Charisma, which is a superwash wool in the navy and a cream. It's a DK weight yarn knit on 3.5 millimeter needles, but yeah, not a huge amount of progress. I don't have needles on this cable right now because they're on something else. On to the next thing that I have made quite a bit of progress on, and that is the Brady Loop sweater by Other Loops. I'm knitting this in the Jody Long Chow, another superwash yarn in the color Pale. It's this really nice, cool pink. All my lighting is kind of warm, so hopefully it shows up as cool as it is. I have joined for the yoke. I'm working on the yoke before I split for the body. I have like one more ribbing increase to get through, so like another nine increases or so. Knitting the second size. It's a DK weight knit on 4 millimeter needles. I'm really enjoying this. It's funny, last time I had just done like the saddle part, and I was saying like, oh, I'll pick up on the back, and I was thinking the traditional, like, I didn't read the pattern ahead of time, and based on like the images, I kind of assumed that it was drop shoulder. I didn't realize that it was raglan. So I was like, oh, I'll pick up the stitches on the back, and then I'll do the front, and then we'll join like under the sleeves. And then it told me to like pick up all the way around the saddle like that. And I was like, oh, it's a raglan. So that's been kind of a pleasant surprise. I've been getting to knit in the round more than I expected. I actually did a lot of this like literally 2 days ago. I just sat down and was knitting for a while. So made some progress on that. I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be so pretty. I'm probably going to pause on the yoke and do the neckline because I finished the skein that I was on. And that is that. My one last whip that I've been working on, because I just finished the Eurus Slipover, I haven't cast anything else on yet, is the Weekend Hat by Petite Knit in the leftover Jody Long Chow in Midnight from my Maggie vest. And yes, I do have paper clips as my stitch markers. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm on the decreases. I've just been working on this little by little. I need to switch it to like magic loop. So I need one of my longer cords to get moved to this. I don't usually do really floppy long hats. I actually did under what her measurements were for how long to knit this still. I mean, the brim is so wide, but I also have a habit of making hats too small. So I think once it's on a head, it'll be fine. It'll probably be okay, right? It'll just have lots of room. It'll be nice and cozy. This is not working because of the bun. I don't know what I was thinking. I look ridiculous. My bun is sticking out. It'll be like one of those bun hats. Yeah, like I had said before, I showed a picture last time. I didn't totally realize that the top part of this was ribbing when I started it, but that's fine. I like all 1x1 rib hats. I think they look nice. I like hats that fit to my head. I don't like super floppy hats. I realized I probably should have knit. I'm knitting the adult medium. I should have knit the men's large or the adult large for my husband because the dark blue would have been perfect for him. But he'll survive. I'll have my own hat. And then maybe I'll have some of the other yarn left over and knit another one in the pink for myself. This is a DK weight pattern, 3.5 millimeter needles. Yeah, nothing else. My paperclip stitch markers. So it's a fun little project. And I didn't actually for the cast on. I would normally do like the tubular cast on, but I just did a long tail because I didn't know if it was like folded and tucked somehow. And so I just did the long tail, and it is not folded and tucked somehow. So I will just have to live with it because I'm not going to undo it. And that is my last whip. I have a little bit of an acquisition. It's a slightly different, new, exciting acquisition. And I also will soon in the mail have another one that is coming because my wonderful mother-in-law went to Oslo and she picked me up some yarn and I'm so, so excited. But I'm not going to talk about that anymore at all until it comes. I'm just going to say I'm really excited and then it's coming from Norway, which is so exciting. I would have loved to have gone with her, but I just like couldn't, timing wise, it wasn't going to happen. So I'm very jealous. She had a wonderful time. But on to my actual acquisition, and that is, I'll start with this one. I had been considering for a while buying a spindle, and I did. I was going to make a video about my first time ever spinning, but I got way too excited, and so I didn't, and I just spun something. My spinning is kind of unhooked. I got a nice simple drop spindle, nothing crazy. I wasn't looking for something super fancy. I got it on Etsy from Turbo Fluff Creations, I think. I'll put the Etsy shop name on here. And it came with a braid of a beginner-friendly fiber, just this undyed, like pretty, what's the word? Pretty like, I don't know, it's a grippy, not rustic, but it's just, I don't think it had a specific name for the wool, but it was a beginner-friendly fiber. And that's obviously what I was looking for. I've done a little tiny, teeny bit of spinning, not a whole lot. It's been going pretty well so far. Got a little bit of fluff attached, and that has been very cool. I'll show you what this was prompted by in a minute, but I'll show you what else came in the box. I picked this one because it was a finished wood, and some of the ones on Etsy are unfinished, and I just wanted it to have a coating. I didn't want an unfinished one. My knitty knotty is unfinished, and that's fine. It was a nominal price difference for something that was finished. I think I paid with shipping, and it came from New Hampshire. I'm in Massachusetts, so it came super fast. It was like $26 including shipping with the braided fiber, so that was really, really good. And this is way more fiber than I even expected it to be, so this is a lot to practice with. Maybe I'll knit mittens with it or something. Oh, and it came with these cute little samples of different fibers. We've got some Cormo fine wool sheep breed, this little white sample. We've got Byzantium, which is 75/25 merino and tussa silk, and this beautiful purple. Can't really do anything with it, but it's fun, nice to touch and feel. And then we have, what's this last one? This last one's really pretty. Equinox, merino, silk, sari silk, and bamboo. And all these pretty colors. That's cool. Oh, so fluffy. Ah, gorgeous. Well, that was a fun little extra in there, just to have a nice little cool thing to touch and see. It doesn't take up too much space, but it's very fun. So yeah, that was a fun acquisition. I don't think I'm going to be like a spinner, at least for a while. Like I've kind of talked about this with people. I would like to get a wheel someday, or one of the e-spinners, but I think like probably when I have a house that I have space that I can set that up and it just lives there, because currently in my apartment, it's a pretty good size, but like I don't think it's having a spinning wheel size. And I have enough yarn, I don't need to go crazy. But what prompted this was, so like a month or two ago, I did that big yarn haul. It was really exciting. It was super discount. And I went back to the same store recently and they pretty much didn't have anything left. But what they did have was a decent amount of this merino fiber. And I had looked at the fiber before, but I was kind of overwhelmed. There were so many different kinds. I didn't really like all the colors. I just wasn't going to try it. I wasn't going to go for it. But I picked up this merino 4 ounces. I bought 3 bags of 4 ounces for $6 each in this purple. And I know that merino is not a beginner friendly fiber really, which is why I got the kit with the fiber. It's just in this length of roving and these nice different tones of purple. It's so very soft and pretty. But yeah, I have 3 of these because that was what I wanted to buy, not because I have any specific project in mind. I might not get to this for a while, but it was a good opportunity to maybe get to do that sometime in the near future, something to prompt me, because I had been considering getting a spindle for a while. So that is fun. Just another little thing to do on occasion. I'm not going to pressure myself to like spin a whole bunch of wool or anything. I don't have some dream project that I really want to do right now. It's just, you know, another hobby, nothing that takes up a huge amount of space. Just a little spindle. So yeah, and I already have the Nitty Naughty and, you know, I have the whole collection. Why not? But yeah, that is what I have been working on lately. Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with my Eurus Slipover. I'm excited about that. I'm trying to think, what am I going to cast on soon? I'm not sure. I don't have something. I have like lots of things that I could start, but I haven't. Oh, actually, I might do my Pohiola next. That was my thought. Because I have Shetland Spindrift for that, which is very rustic. So I think because it'll be up against the neck, the Pohiola by Starry Nordland, which is like a 3-color colorwork sweater. I'll probably do a folded neckline with a different yarn on the inside so that it's not itchy against my skin because I want to be able to actually wear it. But yeah, that is exciting. I've had a good time knitting lately. I've been really having fun with the cables and all of that. I think it'll be fun to start a colorwork sweater for myself. And then I have my Norway yarn coming. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Throw me a comment down below of what you have been working on lately. I love to hear it. I mean, I love interacting with you guys. It's so much fun. I love posting these videos and I love seeing other people's videos. And it's such a fun community to be a part of. So thank you so much for joining me, and a like and subscribe would be very much appreciated. I hope you have a great day. Happy knitting.